Okay, this is one of the original heads. And let me see, what are we looking at? Okay, it's right in here. These areas where the push rod tubes come in. Real smooth. Nice. And these are the new heads that have come in. And if you run your finger around there, it's so rough you could cut yourself. So that needs to be machined down. There's little pieces of it here and there that could flake off, get down into your motor, mess it up. In addition to that, if you come over here and you look at the length of the stud, right there, it's about the width of my finger. You can see that these new studs are just too long. They gotta be cut down. And you see these springs, retainers, super heavy duty. They're going to need to come off. I'm going to go back to our original, the ones that came off of here, which you can tell on this thing right there. That's the reason why we stopped working with this motor, because that valve was stuck. So that's today's project. Clean up the insides of these heads. Alright, and so there's the head. Here's the rotary tool. And I'm not going to record all this stuff, but just get this turned on a little bit right there. And we're going to drop right down into this hole. Do a little bit of this. Just a tiny bit. Anyway, that's what we got to do. I'm not going to film all of that. Okay, and we're all done deburring. It probably took 45 minutes or so. Right down in there. I can now run my fingers across both heads and not risk cutting my skin on all the excess pieces. Go sit down in there. Okay, here we are at the University of Kansas, and I have my pistons in here, and I have partially milled them down for clearancing on my stroker crank. You can see I've already cleared them across that face right there. Over there we have a balance. I'm going to use that balance to balance the pistons. It's not just the piston that we're going to balance, I've also got to balance those connecting pins. So the pins are in there as well. And over there I've got my kids who are maybe going to help, maybe just bother me, you never know. So I think we're good for now. Okay, so we're all done. It took us, oh who knows, an hour and 15 minutes or so. There's the pistons, there's my balance, and there's my final weight numbers. Isn't that beautiful? Of course, there's my Dremel tool, which I used for doing the actual work. Okay, here's the case. And you can see where I had to do some clearancing right through here for that 76 crank, and here's more clearancing for the 76 crank. Didn't take any clearancing at the top. No clearancing at the cam. And of course the other side. Again, clearancing for the rod here. And clearancing for the rod over there. Clearancing right there at the spigot. Clearancing right here at the spigot. And here are the hydraulic lifters. I got my little clips in there so they don't pop out. It's all cleaned up and sparkly. I deburred it all over the place. Like when I first got it, you couldn't run your finger across there. It was like sandpaper to cut you. It was so bad. Now you can like touch it. It doesn't poke you or cut you. There are other places, all kinds of stuff. I mean, like over here, there were spots down here in these spigots that were just bad. Cross back in through here. On the inside, There's still some sharp spots way back down in there. Can't really get to them here and over here. You stick your finger in there, you can like feel it. But sometimes you just gotta let them go. This guy over here. Same thing with this one. All kinds of crap on that right there. So you couldn't touch it. And this was all bad. Right under here. This little lip right through here. Boy, was that bad. Just chock full of rotten stuff. Down under here. Low pressure sending hole. It was full of crap. And then there's other parts of the case. Like right down into here. This is beautiful. There's not a burr on it anywhere. It's like all the burrs were up there on the top. Anyway, this thing's about ready to be bolted together. Now I've got to come over here and work on this thing. This is our crank assembly. Turn that around there. Got that thing from Claude's Buggies like 30 years ago. Sat there for a heck of a long time. To go with it, I got clearanced rods. You see the nut's been cut down right there. It's trimmed back in through here. Trimmed across the back here. All the way around right through there. Bounced end to end. And total mass within a half gram, which is pretty darn good. But I get the feeling it's got a little bit of dust and stuff on it here and there. So I'm going to blast it off. Yes. Yeah, it's got a little bit of dust. Alright, I just blasted this thing with a little bit of water, so it's all wet. I don't know if you can see stuff beaded up on it. Ordinarily you would take something like this, right, and blow it off with some compressed air. I don't have compressed air, so I'm just going to kind of set it up. And then we're going to blast it with what I do have. Nice and wet, isn't it? There's even water down in there. But anyway, what I have, let's see if I can show this here. What is this? Look at that, 210 mile an hour, 2 horsepower motor. Blower vac, oh yeah. It's a leaf blower, baby. And that guy will blast that water out of there in no time. So, let's turn it on, see what's up. Alright, that's pretty dry. I'll have to inspect it, maybe do a little bit more.